Hey everyone, it's Ken and Adria here from Northern Viking Explorer. Today we want to share with you our review of the entertainment and activities that we experienced on our Alaskan cruise on Holland America's Koningsdam. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the entertainment and activities on the Koningsdam, let's talk about it.
Let's start with one of my favorite events. It was the Captain's Welcome Show. I love when you get to see some of the senior staff.
Yeah.
And this was held in the World Stage Theater. And I really appreciate it. It was on the second night. And as we're heading into the theater, a lot of the top staff,
The senior staff. Yeah.
are standing at the entrance and they're greeting you, they're shaking your hand, they're asking you questions, and they offer you there a champagne or a soda that you share or save for the toast later as part of the show.
It was only about 10 to 15 minutes long. It was kind of before the main show, so it was really quick. But yeah, it's always nice to see who the captain is early in the cruise. So if you bump into them, you can say hello. Because we've gone on cruises where I don't know who the captain is.
No, so I like this, and it makes it personal. They make that connection.
So that was in the world stage. Other than the main shows, we'll get to that in a second, there was quite a few different shows in the world stage. So there was like a Diderot show on the great kind of Alaskan race. Lots of kind of seminars and things to learn about Alaska. There was the Future Cruise seminar, Deal or No Deal. And then probably our favorite of kind of those daytime ones was the animals you might see during your cruise show.
I would say this was the most beneficial for our cruise because part of going to Alaska, I think most people are hoping to see whales. And we were told when it was likely that we would see whales. They can't promise this.
Yeah.
But they have some information. They know a little bit about when the salmon are coming through and different things like that.
Yeah.
And did we see whales?
For sure. Tons of whales. Just the one morning.
And during that specific time.
I would say at least 50 whales, and if you include the ones that were way off, probably closer to 100 whales. It was spectacular.
Spectacular. It was it was amazing. Totally worth it.
So that was kind of all in the world stage. There was quite a few main shows. Every night there was the main show in the stage. So the first night was the origin story of Holland America, the first 150 years. So that was kind of the cruise director and video kind of back and forth. That was really a lot of good history in that.
It gave me a deep sense of appreciation for Holland America and their history and how they've contributed. Yeah. It had value.
And then, so there was comedy by Alvin Williams on two of the nights. 2 of the nights there was singing performances by Major Fourth. And then 2 of the nights there was dance performances by, is it Step One Dance Company? So 2 nights of comedy, 2 nights of singing, and 2 nights of dancing.
Yes.
So I would say the singing performances and the dancing performances. So the singing was only singing with kind of canned music in the background. The dancing was only dancing with canned music in the background. There was singing in the canned music, but no combo music.
No live music.
Yeah, for either of those. Yes. So, which the performances were good, but I felt like the 2 singing performances were very similar to one another, and the 2 dancing were very similar. So it felt a little bit redundant.
I kind of miss that play. You know how some of them have like more of a story and a play that's mixing music and dance?
Yeah.
It didn't have that.
Yeah. So I kind of wish there was one more musical performance, kind of a combo performance in there, or maybe a special guest piano player or something like that to bring it all together so that it didn't feel like 2 of the same performances with just different
I think you
songs.
would have loved to have had a magician.
A magician. I would have loved a magician.
Magicians.
So those are my thoughts on that. The shows were good overall, but again, a little bit redundant. They had some other fun stuff going on the ship. They did like a polar bear plunge where they dumped ice buckets on your head and you jumped in the pool. They had some great stuff because this was an Alaskan cruise for Glacier Bay.
This was amazing because I wouldn't normally put this as like entertainment, but Holland America took this to another level by providing so much for us for Glacier Bay. We had a map the night before delivered to our cabin, like an actual printed
Paper map.
And they referred to where we were in the map. They gave us information. They gave us information of what animals we might see.
Yeah.
It was an event. It truly was.
It was an event. And so the park rangers from Glacier Bay actually came on board. We got our passport book stamped that we visited Glacier Bay, and they set up a little booth. You could buy stuff, you could talk to them, and they went over the loudspeaker and announced what we were seeing.
Kind of narrated the event.
Yeah, which we've seen on other cruises as well. Not all Alaskan cruises,
no.
But on this one, it was really well done. Where to look, what you're looking at, sort of thing.
I think it might have been the best.
Yeah.
It was pretty close to magical.
The other thing I want to say is they did open up the front of the ship, the very front of the ship on deck 5. So you could go out there and see the glaciers from out there, which I appreciate when the cruise lines do that.
And they also served you pea soup out there.
Yeah, they were serving it out there as well as up in the crow's nest where the rangers were.
Yeah.
They were serving pea soup as well there. So it was really nice.
It's fantastic.
Lots of other entertainment on the ship throughout the cruise. They of course had trivia, which is a staple on cruise lines. Ballroom dancing lessons or different kind
line
of
dancing.
Yeah. BB King's, I think it's called the Blues Club. Fantastic music there. Saxophones, trumpets, singing. It's 2-story. It's gorgeous in there. They had the orange party in there, so a lot of people dressed up in orange and kind of did it. There's dancing and lots of Dutch treats.
Yeah, they walked around serving appetizers. This is
mostly desserts, but some appetizers. Yeah.
We know if this is something you want to do, which I highly recommend. Go early to the orange party though, especially if you want to get a seat.
Well, because they had I think it was the line dancing lessons right before, so people didn't leave the line dancing. It kind of went straight from the line dancing into the orange party.
You know, it was fun too because I could tell that the dancing that they had taught all week long then was applied at the orange party.
Yeah.
So if you want to join in and dance, check out some of those lessons too if you really want to know and feel like
they had
you're part of it.
If you're getting drinks, they had orange drinks, all sorts of ones you could get there as well. So it was neat. It
was fun.
A lot of senior staff there as well.
Yeah, it was great. And all generations were out there dancing. It was great. It was fun to watch.
And not far from there, they've got the Rolling Stone Rock Lounge or Room. So that was a lot of classic rock music. Yeah. Phenomenal. I can't remember how many times we either would sit there or walk by and just stop because there's the walkway goes by. It was really good. And then across from there, Billboard on board. So another lounge. There's 2 pianos. We saw kind of dueling pianos. Really nice lounge chairs. The bars are there. It's a really nice area.
Absolutely.
So up on the upper decks, pickleball lessons, ping pong tournaments, all sorts of stuff going on in the sports courts. Different tournaments, and then by the pool. So the Lido pool, movies by the pool.
Which I like because I see this on a lot of cruise ships. Okay, so what I really liked is they had the loungers set to watch the movie with really comfy padding put on the chairs
and free popcorn.
And then they're serving extra food varieties that you can pick up in that area, like wings and pretzels. To enjoy it. But here's my wish. I found it difficult to hear, and so I wish that they would put closed captioning on the screen.
Okay.
Just because it is in the pool area, so there's still kids playing and swimming and that kind of noise, which you understand. So when there's dialogue, I found it hard to follow.
Yes, I would agree. The other, I don't want to call it a wish, but just aware. A lot of the movies were Alaskan themed movies, so maybe they weren't the A grade kind of action movies that you might expect to see around the pool. There's a lot of Alaskan themed movies that maybe have been around for 20 years type of thing. So just keep that in mind. It wasn't like all the action movies you might see on, or the last cruise we were on, Top Gun was on there. That they didn't show that sort of a movie.
Yes, no.
By the pool. So And I don't know if that's just an Alaskan thing or a year-round thing with Holland America.
I think it would be Alaska.
Yeah. Oh, for sure with Alaskan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but more of a low-key movie year-round type of thing. So lots and lots of stuff going on around the ship, and even more than we mentioned. I know you'd wanted to mention, this doesn't really fit in, but the app.
Yeah, the app has a free chat section in it, and it's actually easy to miss, and it doesn't cost anything. Other cruise lines do charge. So I could friend Ken in the app, and then I could send him a message without being on the internet package. The one thing, though, I would say to keep in mind is you didn't always get the message right away.
No, I would open up the app to make sure that it comes through. Sometimes it popped through, but sometimes you had to open the app to see it. So if you lose your friend or family member, make sure to open up the app to check if it comes through. But it's great that it was actually free and included because cruise ships are big and you can lose people for hours. Our daughter once, we lost her, but she was sleeping.
Mind you, she wasn't young. She's an adult. No, an adult. We couldn't find her anywhere, and she was just sleeping on the deck under a blanket with it over her head. So, it's a great feature to find one another. Yes. So, but there's lots to do on the Koningsdam, and those are just some of our thoughts on the entertainment and activities.